All right, hello everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week thus far. We're just gonna wait a few minutes, give people a chance to come in. While we're doing that, I'm gonna go off camera here for a quick moment to take care of some things. So I'll be right back. And to take care of this here. Be right back. All right. All right. There we go. I'm back, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day today. We're just again waiting to see if anybody else shows up here for a few minutes. Conan, the adventurer. Conan, man of bravery. He's more powerful than any man. His legend across the land and sea. Conan. Conan. This is the quest to undo the spell Livingstone cast upon us and vanquish the evil sorcerer Rakaman. Conan, the adventurer. Conan, man of bravery. He's more powerful than any man. Spread his legend across the land and sea. Conan. Let's see. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, be ready for your act. Don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We're ready and you're willing, and we can count on you. Be Scooby-Doo, no, we'll catch that villain. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for you. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Over here. All the stars are here, waiting for you. Couldn't have a show without you. Scooby, Scooby-Doo. Hey, Scooby, where are you? Over here. Let's see. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, can't you see? Just like flies, look out. There goes Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen up. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing overhead? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome he is yours. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang up. Wherever there's a hang up, you'll find a Spider-Man. They're dashing, they're daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly, with stories to share. All through the forest they sing out in chorus, marching along as the song fills the air. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Find adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. They are the gummy bears. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish when I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Let's see, what else? Let's see, what else? Just trying to think. Get along, gang, get along, gang. Each one is special in their own way. Coming about a get along gang, get along gang. Get up with a get along gang. You know it's okay. Get up with a get along gang. Oh, get up. All right. So, anyways, all right. Well, we're coming up on 8 minutes here. So, why don't we go ahead and go over what's going to be on tap for tonight? As tonight, our main articles tonight, I'm going to be heading over to CBR as I guess they've got the announcement of the upcoming DC and Marvel releases, and as that does take quite a bit of time to go through, that's why I just decided to go with them. And then depending on how fast we get through those and whatever else we may decide to cover, that's what we'll do tonight. So, anyways, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started on all that? And also, we also have, of course, our wrestling roundup and the This Day in Each History coming up later on. And of course, we do have quite a bit of news there as well. As I said, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started on all that. Okay, so here we go. So the first article we're going to look at, of course, is the DC releases here. Flashpoint Beyond's explosive finale leads DC's new comics. DC's Flashpoint Beyond miniseries reaches its dramatic conclusion, while new Batman-related titles explore the GCPD and Penguin having one bad day. Article by Sean Gibbon, published 1 day ago. And normally I don't do anything outside of a day ago, of course, but as I said, these were probably some things that were so. Anyways, Flashpoint Beyond races to its conclusion in DC Comics new releases. Written by Jeff Johns, Jeremy Adams, and Tim Sheridan, and illustrated by Zermanico, Michael Yamin, and Gary Frank. 6-issue miniseries revolving around Flashpoint Batman and the return of the Flashpoint universe wraps on Tuesday, which is today. This article came out, of course, yesterday. So Thomas Wayne has been on a mission to restore the main DC universe, leading him to investigate the Clockwork Killer, who turned out to be none other than his wife Martha Wayne, aka Flashpoint's Joker. Meanwhile, Batman Bruce Wayne has been repeatedly warned about facing the wrath of Rip Hunter, and finally faces the Time Master in the finale. Now, Rip Hunter is, of course, the Time Master. I don't know if he was ever actually brought over into the animated canon, any of the animated canon, but he had his own series for a while there in the 60s. Of course, with the 60s, you had all the sci-fi stuff going on. So, time travel being among the, favorites among the sci-fi crowd. What fates lie in store for these two Batmen and the impact their decisions will have on the DC multiverse will only be revealed when Flashpoint Beyond number 6 hit store shelves and digital platforms. Then from Gotham City comes Gotham City PD, The Blue Wall, number 1, and Batman One Bad Day, The Penguin, number 1. The Blue Wall is a new miniseries written by John Ridley and drawn by Stefano Raphael, exploring Gotham's police department under the command of Commissioner Renee Montoya. As for the Penguin's upcoming one-shot, the issue, also written by Ridley, illustrated by Giuseppe Camuncoli, is the latest book to release from One Bad Day saga, focusing on what caused Batman's rogues to become the villains they are. The book, revolving around Oswald Cobblepot, arrives after issues centered on the Joker and Two-Face have already released. With the titles for Catwoman, Ra's al Ghul, and more on the way. Other notable mentions include the finales of Aquaman, Andromeda, Batman the Knight, and Rogue. Also out is The Flash, number 787, pitting Wally West against an intergalactic wrestling league, and Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats, number 1, set after the events of Harley Quinn Season 3, I guess the animated series. The full list of releases can be found alphabetically below, covers and solicitations included. Okay, before I get into all this, I do need to separate Peter for a moment. When I come back, I'll go through these. Anyways, I said I do need to step away here for a moment, but I will turn on some music for you guys, so I'll be right back. I'm back. Let's go ahead and get back to the article here, get to all these releases coming out. So, first release we're looking at Aquaman Andromeda #3, written by Ram V, art and cover by Kristen Ward, um, variant cover by Tiffany Terrell with the 125th bit. So, we'll go through all of these. It's $6.99 US, 48 pages, 3 of 3, Prestige Plus, on sale today, the 18th. So, what ties does the mysterious craft have to the city of Atlantis, its true purpose? So I'm guessing the preview shots are up here. These are from Aquaman Andromeda and I think 3 of 3, which I'm guessing means that this is the last of the miniseries. So, what ties does the mysterious craft have to the city of Atlantis? Its true purpose has infested most of the Andromeda, but an even greater threat has descended upon the crew. Black Manta has taken possession of the craft. If Aquaman is to defeat him, he'll have to stare down his greatest fears. Can Aquaman wrest control over the craft before the weapon systems aboard the Andromeda wipe them all from the ocean floor? Now here are some images from the next book we're going to be looking at. Batman Superman World's Finest #8, written by Mark Waid, art and cover by Dan Mora, and cover by Torin Clark. Selling for $3.99. For $3.99, 32 pages, variant $4.99 US cardstock, on sale today, the 18th. Quote unquote, reckless youth continues as Superman and Batman struggle to mentor the new Boy Thunder. The key has drawn the world's finest team into an impossible dilemma, unlike any they've ever faced. When the entire city of Metropolis goes into a deadly lockdown. So here's some more images from the next book. It looks like one involving the Penguin. From the looks of it. Batman One Bad Day, Penguin #1. So this is the Penguin one shot right here, written by John Ridley. Art and cover by Giuseppe Camuncoli. The variant cover by Jim Lee. Let's see, $7.99 US, 64 pages, Prestige, alt covers, cardstock. On sale 2022, which is today. The Penguins. So a lot of these books from DC are coming out today. So if you haven't had a chance to go to your comic book shop, if you're wanting to look for these, they should be there now. The Penguin's criminal enterprise and the Iceberg Lounge have been stolen from underneath him by his former associate, the Umbrella Man. Interesting. The Umbrella Man has removed all of the rules for crime in Gotham City that the Penguin put in place, and the city is in chaos. The Penguin is a broken man, and he'll have to travel through the burning streets of Gotham with a gun and a single bullet, putting together a new crew to take back what he's built. Will Batman help the devil he knows, or face the devil he doesn't, in the form of the Umbrella Man? A crime epic from the team behind the critically acclaimed Other History of the DC Universe. John Ridley and Giuseppe Camuncoli. Don't miss it. Here's a couple of images from the next book we're going to be looking at here. Batman the Knight, number 10. All right, we now back to what we're just doing here. Batman the Knight, number 10, written by Chip Zdarsky, art and cover by Carmine Di Giandomenico, the variant cover by Riccardo Federici. $4.99 US, 40 pages, 10 of 10. So this is the last of a 10-issue arc here. Variant $5.99 US cardstock on sale today. Bruce Wayne's worldwide journey has reached its conclusion. Is he ready for the brutal final exam? The acclaimed series comes to a shocking climactic end as this young Dark Knight will face the ultimate test. There's some images from the next book we're going to be looking at. Black Adam number 5, written by Christopher Priest, art by Rafa Sandoval, cover by Irvin Rodriguez. Variant covers by Rafa Sandoval and Ariel Colon. $3.99 US. Oh, let's see. 32 pages. Variant $4.99 US cardstock on sale today, October 18th, 2022. There is no redemption for Black Adam. Deoteth Adam faces off against a furious Bruce Wayne as Black Adam confronts threats ranging from a rising democratic movement in Kahndaq to the Akkad, a new pantheon of gods from outer space, who create a new herald to represent them on Earth, in Sargon the Sorcerer. And Adam becomes inextricably linked to a young protege who has contracted the same plague that nearly killed Adam. There's some more images. There is there are images from the Catwoman series here. Catwoman number 48, written by Teeny Howard, art and cover by Nico Leone, cover by Jeff DeCall. $3.99 US, 32 pages, $4.99 US cardstock, on sale today. So all these books, I think we know are. So I don't think I need to say that every time. So unless otherwise mention, all the books that we're going over here are going to be went on sale today. Don't you just hate it when your current and former lovers meet accidentally? Oh yeah, that's usually not a good formula for happiness. That's definitely the case here for Catwoman as Valmont and Batman cross paths. And this makes it even more difficult considering that, the whole hero and villain thing, hero and criminal thing as well. That's definitely the case here. Okay. Is Batman jealous or just concerned that Selina is dating an international criminal who is also a murderer? There are some lines you just don't cross. Cat, and not all attention is good attention. Right, so here's some images here for the next book we're going to be looking at. Art Crisis Young Justice number 5, written by Megan Fitzmartin, art by Laura Braga, cover by Max Doombar, the variant cover by Belen Ortega. $3.99 US, 32 pages, 5 of 6 is part 5 of a 6-issue miniseries. Variant $4.99 US cardstock. Here's Mickey! Mickey Mix-Yes-Spitlick, son of Mr. Mix-Yes-Spitlick. Oh boy. An even more childish version of the extra dimensional imp. Oh boy. Built the quote unquote perfect world where he and the boys of Young Justice could rule without being criticized, without having to change, without ever having to grow up. Mickey has an ugly soul and too much power. Never a good combination, is it? Ugly soul and too much power. Never a good combination there. The boys of Young Justice will have to overcome their shortcomings and defeat him to get back to the DCU they know and need. And here are some images right here. The next one here. All right. DC versus Vampires All Out War number 4. Written by Matthew Rosenberg and Alex Pocknadell. Art by Pasquale Qualano. Cover by Alan Qua. Backup written by Danny Lore. Backup art by Henning. And cover by Christian Ward. $3.99 US, 32 pages, part 4 of 6, black and white. And $4.99 US cardstock. Okay, so here's the summary of this story. With Baron Cinder and his lieutenants kept occupied by the mother of all diversions, the team attempts a daring raid on the blood farm to retrieve the one person who can bring sunlight back to the world. However, they have not reckoned on the terrifying presence of the Baron's vampire knights, familiar faces whose blades are every bit as bloodthirsty as they are. And in the backup, we learn the sad fate of the King of Cities, Jack Hawksmoor. So here's some. I'm gonna step away from the computer one more time here. I'll be right back. Let's see. I think we got something. Alright, so anyways, I'll be right back here. Step away. All right. Anyways, I thank everybody for the likes and shares thus far. Anything catches your interest, comment on or ask questions about, please do so, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you may have. Anyways, looks like we got some Captain Marvel thing going on here. Well, I guess technically Shazam. Feast, Feast, War of the Undead God, number 3. Written by Tom Taylor, art by Trevor Hairsine and Andy Lanning, cover by Howard Porter. Um, $3.99 US, 32 pages. Part 3 of 8. The variant of $4.99 with a card stock. So the blockbuster final arc of the series continues. As a warrior princess is mourned on Themyscira, an old god comes to warn of the threat of the new gods. Meanwhile, across the stars, Adam Strange fights the unthinkable, and the main man himself, Lobo, tears his way into Deceased. New battle lines are drawn as the anti-living spread across the universe. And here's some more images for the next book. Fables number 1. Wow, there's a book that got 156 issues there. Huh? Fables 156. All right, so we shall continue on, of course. Written by Bill Willingham, art by Mark Buckingham and Steve Lealoha. The cover by Christina Kalida. Variant cover by Mark Buckingham. $3.99 US, 32 pages. Part 6 of 12. Variant is $4.99 US. Connor Wolf has taken a shine to a wandering hero who has plans to teach Connor all he knows. They'll make daring rescues and slay monsters, but when the pair come across old Sam in the Black Forest, Connor discovers his mentor's sense of adventure has a cruel streak. Oh boy. Plus, a French bistro in New York becomes a dueling ground as Green Jack makes a dramatic entrance to square off against Pond. Here are some images here. Looks going to be a Flash book from the looks of it. Or maybe a Black Adam book for all we know. Let's see. Or a Black Adam crossover here. Looks like the Flash, Black Adam, and I think that might be Adam Smasher right there. But, well, I guess we'll wait and see. The Flash, number 787. Um, Written by Jeremy Adams, art by Fernando Pasquarine and Matt Ryan, the cover by Toreen Clark. Let's see. $3.99 US, 32 pages, variant $4.99 cardstock. It's Monday night somewhere. Yeah, like when this article came out last night, it was Monday night. I think when I first saw it. Monday, Mondays, am I right? Wally West is back from his adventure to save Barry Allen, but there's no time to celebrate. The new alien with a penchant for golden belts and trucker hair has added a new sting to the life of the Flash. Sounds like Lobo. This stone cold heart stopper of an issue will have you screaming, "Oh my God!" as the Scarlet Speedster gets clotheslined in the face by a whole new era of attitude. Oh boy. And then the Flashpoint Beyond number 6. Written by Jeff Johns, Jeremy Adams, and which they were talking about before all this. Art by Zeramanico, cover by Mitch Jared. 399 US, 32 pages, part 6 of 6, variant 499 US cardstock. The fate of the Flashpoint Earth hangs in a balance as Thomas must make the ultimate choice. What will happen to this fractured reality, and what does it mean for the DC universe at large? And then there's an image looking like, I guess that's supposed to be the current comic version of Renee Montoya right there. PCPD, The Blue Wall #1, written by John Ridley, art by Stefano Raphael, with cover by Reiko Murakami. 399 US, 32 pages, part 1 of 6. Variant 499 US cardstock. Still relatively early in her tenure as GCPD commissioner, Renee Montoya sets out to rebuild her department and restore public faith in the historically troubled police department, during some of the worst conditions it's ever seen. But Renee can't do it alone. In order for her plan to work, everyone from the topmost officials all the way down to the most fresh-faced new officers must contend with the harsh realities of being a symbol of law and order in a city of superpowered saviors and superhuman lawlessness. DC is proud to present GCPD The Blue Wall by the stellar team of Academy Award winning writer John Ridley and artist Stefano Raphael. The 6-part miniseries is a thought-provoking and riveting story of everyday people trying to do good in the midst of a flawed system. No one said protecting a city like Gotham would be easy. All right, there we go with that one. All right, so here are some more, like Harley and Ivy right there. Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats #1, written by T. Franklin, art by Shea Beagle, cover by Yoshitani. $3.99 US, 32 pages, 1 of 6, variant $4.99 US cardstock. When last we checked in with Harley Quinn, she ate, she banged, and she killed. The Eat, Bang, Kill tour. But now it's time for something a little different. Fresh out of the events of Harley Quinn, the animated series season 3, Harley has found herself a part of a highly unlikely team, the Bat Family. Meanwhile, Poison Ivy has found herself prepping for her new job, leader of the Legion of Doom. But while Harley and Ivy adjust to their respective new roles, a ghost from Ivy's past enters the fray and threatens the relationship between everyone's favorite clown plant couple. And here's some images from the Nightwing series. Nightwing #97, written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Bruno Redondo, and cover by Jamal Campbell. $3.99 US, $3.99 US, 32 pages, variant $4.99 US. Batgirl gives Nightwing her answer, and they have a long talk with each other about what that means. Answer to what, I wonder. There's some more images here. We'll get down to rogues now. Written by Joshua Williamson, art by Leo Max, cover by Sam Wolf Connolly. 6.99 US, 48 pages, 404, Prestige Plus, 8.5 by 10 and 7/8. Okay. Gorilla City Blues. All the rogues wanted, all the rogues wanted was a better life for themselves. But that's all over thanks to all their greed and backstabbing. Those still left alive and busted up with their backs against the wall, and Grodd's forces are closing in. With no heroes racing to save them, they must make a deadly deal with Grodd to survive. Oh, here's a Scooby Doo. Where are you? Number 118. Written by Ivan Cohen. Art and cover by Walter Carzone. $2.99 US, 32 pages. Award season has arrived in Coolsville, and the gang has been invited to star in the opening ceremony. But the elusive Silent Phantom is determined to sabotage the production. Can Mystery Inc. find the culprit before the ceremony goes off the air for good? All right. Four images here. And we have, okay. Titans United Blood Pack number 2. Written by Cavan Scott. Art by Lucas Meyer. Cover by Eddie Barrows. Okay. $3.99 US. 32 pages. Part 2 of 6. Variant $4.99 US cardstock. On sale 10/18/22. Tim Drake is having the worst day. First, he got brainwashed by the Fearsome Five. Then he woke up in a world turned upside down, a world ruled by the fanatical Church of the Raven. Now, enemies have become allies, and Titans are nowhere to be seen, guest starring The Dark Knight. All of these issues go on sale October 18th from DC Comics. All right, so there we go with that one. There we go with that one with the DC releases. And the other article we're going to look at here is going to be hey Bianca Zombie, hey Bianca Zombie, how you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the content. If you have anything you'd like to comment on or ask about, feel free to do so. And if I can answer the question, I'll do my best to do so. Anyways, um, we're now going to move on to some Marvel releases here. Getting everybody up to date on that stuff in case you wanted to know that. And what we just went to DC, so now we're gonna let's go through to the Marvel batch. Already coming up on 49 minutes, so we're making good time then here. All right, so Spider-Man gets deadly in Marvel's next batch of new comic releases. Spider-Man gets deadly in a new miniseries pitting him against an X-Men villain, and while Marvel's Halloween one-shot teases Werewolf by Night and more. Article by Sean Griven, published one day ago. For Halloween, Marvel Comics is releasing a new one-shot while Spider-Man is getting deadly. Launching on Wednesday is the Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man miniseries, written by Taboo and D. Earl. and illustrated by Juan Barea. Set to feature 5 issues total, the title will see Peter Parker travel to Los Angeles and face a demonic X-Men villain, the Demon Bear. His ongoing battle with the foe will see Spider-Man grappling with nightmares every time he falls asleep. But how deadly the web slinger and this series will get remains to be seen. Sticking with the theme of demons and things that go bump in the night, Marvel's 2022 anthology one-shot for Halloween, Crypt of Shadows #1, is out as well. Characters shown on Lainil Francis Yu and Sunny Go's cover for the issue, contributed to by many writers, and artists include Moon Knight, Wolverine, I guess the Laura Kinney version of Wolverine, and Blade's Daughter Bloodline. Also visible are characters who just made their live action debut in Marvel Studios' Werewolf by Night special on Disney Plus. Let's see, Elsa Bloodstone, Man Thing, and the titular werewolf himself. Readers will have to pick up the issue to learn what spook and scares await them on each page. So Marvel's really going with the Halloween stuff now. Here, maybe hoping to try to take advantage of the holiday to kind of try to get some comeback from sagging sales ratings probably. As for Marvel's other releases following the debut of Miracle Man #0, one shot, the revival of writer Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham's Miracle Man run begins with Miracle Man: The Silver Age #1, releasing alongside the issue in the second half of Thor's crossover with Venom. The penultimate issue of Defenders Beyond, and more. The full list of releases can be found alphabetically below. Covers and solicitations included. So here are some images from the first book. We'll be looking at Alien #2. So written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Julius Ota, cover by Bjorn Behrens. Nothing organic ever tangled with us and walked away. Quote unquote SEAL team, the legendary unkillable synthetic special operations team, has been reactivated. Sent to an abandoned Wayland Yutani outpost to recover a project that now could save millions. SEAL team is the United Systems' only hope as they navigate the hellscape that, that the once idyllic Tobler 9 has become. Since its mysterious downfall years earlier, Tobler 9 is considered one of the most hostile environments in the known universe, the known Marvel universe anyway. A place where nothing organic could possibly have survived. Could it? 32 pages, parental advisory, $3.99. Here's some images from the next book we'll be looking at. So this is for Avengers #61 here. Written by Jason Aaron, with art by Ivan Morelli, cover by Javier Garon. History's mightiest untold secret. If the Avengers hope to survive being lost in time, they'll need the help of some of history's greatest heroes, from the Thor of the Viking Age to the T-Rex Starband at the dawn of time, plus all the forgotten Avengers of bygone eras, whose stories can finally be told. 32 pages, rated T plus, $3.99. Here's a couple covers of Captain America here. Captain America, Symbol of Truth, number 6. Written by Toki Onyebuchi, with art by E. Guara, cover by R.B. Silva. Let's see. Quote unquote, Pax Mohanda. Pax Mohanda starts here. I don't know if that's supposed to mean that they're going into a story arc here called Pax Mohanda or what. Still reeling from his conflict with Wakanda, Sam Wilson is called to the international stage once again to protect a visiting politician from the African nation of Mohanda. But the White Wolf has already put the second stage of his plan into motion. The dire consequences for both Sam's closest friends and Mohanda. Old allies return and new enemies rise in the thrilling new chapter of Captain America: Symbol of Truth. 32 pages, rated T plus, $3.99. So here's some more images here. Carnage. Oh, and that one cover, it looks like he got hold of, John Kent there, I think. Oh, boy. Like John, or at least the costume that John Kent wore in Son of Superman, Son of Kal-El. They would not have imagined that actors would have sent John Kent into the Marvel universe for any reason. Anyways, Carnage number 7, written by Ram V. With art by Rogue Antonio, cover by Kendrick Kunka Lim. Carnage in Hell Part 2. With violence and glory on its mind, the Carnage symbiote continues to carve a bloody path through the underworld with the singular goal of reaching Malekith the accursed. But what does Carnage want with the disgraced Lord of the Dark Elves? And what does it have to do with Venom and Eddie Brock? 32 pages, rated T plus, 3.99. So now moving on. So there's Cryptic Shadows right there. The cover for Cryptic Shadows. Right there. Ah. Cryptic Shadows number 1. Written by Chris Cooper, Al Ewing, Danny Lore, Rebecca Roanhorse, Adam Warren, and more. Penciled by Karen S. Garbeau, Jeff Shaw, Adam Warren, and more. Cover by Lanil Francis Yu. Anyways, the heroes of the Marvel Universe spend most of their time in the bright sun, flying high above it all. But every once in a while, they venture into the darkness that lurks in the hidden corners of the world. There lurk the creatures, the monsters, the vampires, the ones who prey on innocence and goodness. Join us and some of your favorite heroes for tales of fangs, claws, and silent stalking swamp creatures to celebrate All Hallows Eve. They're making this into a Halloween title, I guess. I don't know if this is supposed to be a one shot or not. 6 pages, one shot. Okay. Is that right there? It is a one shot. It did sound like a Halloween book. Rated T plus, $5.99. So there's the cover right there. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 1 of 5. So this is a 5 issue miniseries right here, it looks like. Written by Taboo and B. Earl, with Juan Ferreira, Ferreira doing the art. Cover by Raza. Um, okay. A revolutionary dark take on Spider-Man begins here. Um, what is, what is reality and what is dream? What is science and what is magic? At the intersection of all of this stands the deadly neighborhood Spider-Man. Peter Parker goes to Los Angeles, and what he finds there are definitely not angels. The demons waiting for Peter are going to test him like never before. One demon in particular, a very famous one for Marvel Mikestand fans, might just keep Spider-Man alive. 32 pages, rated T plus, $3.99. And here's the next cover we're looking at there. So we're already just past the 1 hour mark then, so making good time here. Defenders Beyond number 4 of 5. Written by Al Ewing, art and cover by Javier Rodriguez. Um, on their quest to save reality itself, the defenders have stared down the Beyonder and survived the scorching flames of the Phoenix. And now Loki and company must face their greatest threat yet, themselves. Captain America there, Loki, there's a few others there. Defenders find themselves in a plane of possibility where they are hunted by visions of the lives they wish they could have. If only the dream weaver warns they didn't have the others holding them back. Will they turn against each other or accept closing those doors? 32 pages, 32 plus, 399. The Iron Man over there. Iron Man number 24. Christopher Cantwell, writer. Art by Angel Unzueta, cover by Alex Ross. Tony Stark has all but bankrupted himself, buying up every dangerous piece of tech he's chased down on the black market network, dismantling it from the inside as he and Rhodey lock it all up and plan their next step. Tony and Riri Williams argue over what to do with the most powerful weapon they've recovered, the Mandarin's ring. Um, 32 pages, rated 2 plus. Here's some couple of images here. Like Doctor Doom and Wolverine on the cover there. Midnight Suns, number 2 of 5. So this is part of a 5-issue miniseries, I guess. Written by Ethan Sachs. Art by Luigi Zagaria. cover by David Nakayama. The Midnight Suns are doomed. The new team of Midnight Suns, Magic, Wolverine, Blade, Spirit Rider, and Nico Minoru, face their first brutal test when Doctor Doom lays siege to Strange Academy. What is Doom after? And an even bigger threat awaits if they survive. A threat tied to the Sorcerer Supreme and one only the Midnight Suns have the power to overcome. 32 pages, 82 plus, 99. So here's some images from the next one. It looks like actually this looks like Miracle Man. Miracle Man by Gaiman and Buckingham, the Silver Age #1. Written by Neil Gaiman, um, with art and cover by Mark Buckingham. Silver Age begins again. After 30 years, Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham's unfinished storyline, quote unquote Silver Age, begins again. The legendary creators are remastering the two published issues with brand new artwork and finishing their grand story at long last. Young Miracle Man, the lost member of the Miracle Man family, is back. His last memories were of a 1953 world of joy and innocence. Now he's been thrust into the 21st century, where his best friends have become gods and monsters. 48 pages, mature, $4.99. That's cover for Moon Knight, for the latest Moon Knight issue. Moon Knight #16. Written by Jed McKay, with art by Alessandro Cappuccino. Um, cover by Steven Segovia. While Moon Knight ventures into unknown territory to make a new friend of an ancient monster, Hunter's Moon stalks the rooftops on his own, intent on his own definition of justice. Little does he know that he is far from the only one stalking the nighttime cityscape. 32 pages, 32 plus. Yeah, we have a couple Predator uppers there as well. Predator #3, written by Ed Brisson, with art by Kev Walker, cover by Lenil Francis Yu. Theta is ambushed by a predator, but is this the predator that she's been tracking all these years? And without her weaponry, is she prepared to take it on one-on-one? 32 pages, parental advisory, $3.99. Here's cover for Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings #4. Written by Jean Luan Yang, with art by Marcus To, cover by DK Ruan. The game of rings starts here. Shang-Chi must compete in a martial arts tournament against some of his deadliest foes. The winning prize, the 10 rings. I think these are the same 10 rings that the Mandarin has also garnered as well. But who has staged this contest? Does Shang-Chi truly want to win? There are 2 pages, rated T+, $3.99. Here's the next set of images. The next picture. All right. So Star Wars, Darth Vader, number 28, written by Greg Pak, art by Luke Ross, cover by Raza. A New Hope, 45th, and okay. The Shadow in the Fire. Okay. For decades, Sabe, handmaiden of Sabe, handmaiden of Padme, schemed to assassinate Darth Vader, whom she believed murdered her queen. Sabe has learned Vader's greatest secret, and now she fights at his side, believing that someday she may prove there's still good in him. What happens when the handmaiden family comes face to face with the Emperor, who knows all of her secrets? Okay. Queen's shadow enters the crucible, so Vader let her burn. So it's Evasion rated T, 399. The cover for the latest storybook. Across the rainbow bridge of that sky, where the blooming heavens roar, and behold incredulous wonder, the God of thunder, mighty Thor. Right, Thor number 28, written by Donny Cates, with art by Salvador La Roca, cover by Nick Klein. Um, Beyond Beyond Amazing Spider-Man. Thor vs. Venom Round 2. Hammer versus Tongue. Thunder versus Symbiote. Golden Hair versus Pointy Teeth. It's the epic finale of this dark, twisted team-up between Thor and Venom. How will events from the current Venom series impact the future of Asgard? Find out here. 50 pages, rated T+, $3.99. Here's our next look at. Covered from the latest X-Force book. X-Force number 33, written by Benjamin Percy, with art by Robert Gill, cover by Joshua Casada. Okay, quote unquote, The Hunt for X. Conclusion and Avengers X-Men Eternal tie-in. Craven the Hunter, Wolverine, Omega Red, Dinosaurs. Enough said. 32 pages, parental advisory. Here's the next X-Men book here. X-Men number 16, written by Jerry Dugan, with art by Joshua Casada, cover by Giuseppe Camuncoli. Forging a way ahead. Forge has a secret mission that he's been working on for the Quiet Council for some time. Now that he's been elected to be one of the X-Men, the world's greatest heroes, it's time to put it into action, even if it does break some of the laws of Krakoa. 32 pages, rated T+, $3.99. All of these issues go on sale October 19th from Marvel Comics. So tomorrow then. So if you're a Marvel fan, those are the books you can look forward to going to your local comic shops tomorrow to pick up. Today, DC released its books. So let's see where we're at here in terms of time. We have some more people here. Hello, um, hello, Nick Elver, Nick Ehlers. I don't think I've seen you before. Glad to see you're here. Um, hopefully you like meat stuff. Um, that's what we're covering right now. Um, yeah, I think I got some more time to cover some more articles here. So, let's go back. I focus mostly on the releases because that's what that's some big news, obviously. So let's see if we can find some other things to. Um, oh yeah, this is one of the books we talked about. John Ridley's GCPD comic includes a trigger warning for racially offensive language. The only thing it is that I don't know if that's let's see if it's a spoiler, we won't cover it, but if not, we will. Yeah, it's a spoiler. We don't do spoilers here. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Give you guys a chance to go. Um, so we'll see what else. Um, so here's an okay. We can look at this. Marvel's Fantastic Four celebrates 60 years of superhero adventures in deluxe book exclusive preview. Let's see. This is spoiler. No. No interesting comment. All right. So I wonder what that's all about. Wonder if I'll find out soon enough. All right. So let's look at this then. Marvel's Fantastic Four celebrates 60 years of superhero adventures in deluxe book exclusive preview. Marvel's first family celebrate their 60th anniversary, which meant that they started back up in 1962, as superheroes all over again in a new deluxe hardcover title from Titan Comics. Wow. Okay. Article by John Dodge, published 12 hours ago. So let's take a look at this one. The Fantastic Four are prepared to celebrate 60 years of fantastical stories with a massive new anniversary special. Marvel's Fantastic Four, the first 60 years, is being published on October 25th, 1 week from today, courtesy of Titan Comics. That's kind of interesting that Titan's doing it instead of Marvel. Um, maybe Marvel just figures they're too busy with all the other stuff putting out, I guess. Um, the upcoming hardcover collection will give readers a breakdown of the eponymous hero's journey throughout the decade, beginning with the team's original debut in 1961 Fantastic Four #1 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Art Simek, all the way to the multiverse shattering event of 2010. CBR has an exclusive extract highlighting Walt Simonson's run on the series, which began in 1989 with Fantastic Four #334. CBR also has an exclusive preview of Fantastic Four #334 by Simonson, Rick Buckler, Romeo Thongal, George Russos, and Bill Oakley, along with additional pages from 1989, Avengers number 300 by Simonson, John Buscema, Tom Palmer, Paul Beckman, Mark Thierry, and Bill Oakley, showing Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, joining Earth's mightiest heroes. So here are some of the images there for these books, covers, and some of the pages from them. Hello, Josh. Hello, Josh. Shill. Yeah, let me highlight a couple of new people here. Oh, Nick Ellers. Marvel is sweet. Yeah, I'm glad you like the coverage thus far. All right. Okay. A decade of surprises. It was a time of long and epic sagas, credible cliffhangers, and crucial turning points. The 1990s was also a decade in which Marvel introduced new innovations that the took the took them to new heights. I think it's supposed to be them, not them to new heights. Popularity. Steve Englehart's replacement on Fantastic Four made his debut issue number 334, which I think that's Walt Simonson, number of 1989. Walt Simonson, known to fans for his hit run on Thor. At the time, the cast was made up of the four classic members, with the Thing now in his human form as Ben Grimm, as well as new arrival Sharon Ventura. Simonson had already worked on Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman a few months earlier during a brief stint on the Avengers. Quote, I put Reed and Sue in the Avengers, unquote, Simonson explained years later in a book about his work by Two Moros Publishing. Quote, Steve Englehart had been writing Fantastic Four for some time. He wrote Reed and Sue out of the Fantastic Four. I thought, quote, wouldn't it be interesting to have these guys in the Avengers, unquote. You've got Captain America and Reed, both accustomed to the habit of command. You've got some interesting character interactions, unquote. Oh, we kind of saw that too in the Spider-Man, the animated series show as well in the mid-90s during the Spider Wars, or the Secret Wars arc that they did in there. Villains and politics. The instructions from the higher ups were changing. Tom DeFalco wanted more coordination between series. For a title like The Avengers, where almost every character having adventures as the lead of their own title, this meant constantly changing plans. According to Simonson, writing The Avengers was getting complicated. Quote, so I got off The Avengers with number 300, having just put a new team together. I had a whole bunch of stories lined up to do. About 5 seconds after I quit, I was offered Fantastic Four. Because Steve, Englehart in brackets, had left the title. The editorial powers that he had decided that the Fantastic Four should be Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Ben. Quote, it was Ralph Macchio. Now, before you start thinking, there is a comic book artist named Ralph Macchio. This is not the same. It's not the actor. These are two different people. There's a Marvel comic artist named Ralph Macchio, and there's also the actor Ralph Macchio. Everybody knows of course, the actor Ralph Macchio from his time on the Karate Kid movies with Pat Morita. Um, just so you know. Then editor who offered Simonson the job, Simonson explained, quote, I had all these stories lined up for the Avengers. They were stories that, among other things, involved Reed and Sue. I just pulled the stories over to the Fantastic Four. Quote, the first story arc was tied to the quote unquote Acts of Vengeance event. Um, this saw all the heroes in their own titles take on a coalition of villains that included Loki, the incognito instigator of the criminal organization, Doctor Doom, Magneto, and Red Skull. Sounds a little bit like Secret Wars, doesn't it? Like a little bit like the Secret Wars arc there. Um, the villains had decided to quote unquote swap enemies, thinking they could beat them more easily that way. In Fantastic Four issues number 334 and 336, published at the end of 1989, the start of 1990, different supervillains attached the quartet. I think it's supposed to be attacked the quartet. Unfortunately, the attack happened right as Reed Richards was in a special congressional meeting where he was objecting to the idea of a superhero registration act. Kind of the, I think this is kind of another lead into the Civil War storyline. The villains were finally defeated, and even human Ben Grimm, using a Thing exoskeleton, um, participated in the fight. Thanks to the heroic actions of the Fantastic Four, Congress gave up on the Superhuman Registration Act for the time being. For the second story arc, Simonson replaced Rich Buckler on pencils and inks, and found himself in the role of writer artist. When it came to the scripts, he drew on many of his old plans for the Avengers and borrowed Thor and Iron Man. Quote, because it was a guest star situation, unlike the Avengers, unquote. He said, quote, I got to use some of the original Avengers in this story the way I couldn't have used them in the Avengers itself. Celebrating 60 years with Marvel's first family. Right. The story here. This will probably be our last story, last article we'll go over tonight. Celebrating 60 years with Marvel's first family. Titan's description of Marvel's Fantastic Four the first 60 years reads, quote, a celebration of 60 years of Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. Its deluxe book explores the comic book history of the Fantastic Four from their 1960s origins to the present day. Lavish illustrations, the greatest adventures of Reed Richards to Storm and Grimm and Johnny Storm, otherwise known as Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, and the Human Torch, are charted with behind-the-scenes stories of each era. The title also features an in-depth guide to their most terrifying foes, including the Mole Man, Galactus, and their greatest rival, the sinister Doctor Doom. Victor Von Doom. Marvel's Fantastic Four, the first 60 years, is slated for release only weeks ahead of Marvel's ongoing Fantastic Four series, upcoming relaunch on November 9th. Acclaimed creator and artist Alex Ross cover for the first issue. The new series features new costumes for Marvel's first family. To coincide with the next era in their decades-long story, the iconic artist also recently produced an original graphic novel entitled Fantastic Four Full Circle. This is the manifestation of a long held desire to define a certain approach to the Fantastic Four book, Ross previously said of the novel. Marvel's Fantastic Four, the first 60 years, goes on sale on October 25th from Titan Comics. Pre-orders are currently available on Amazon and Books A Million. Before we get on here, let me see where we're at on time. Hour 31. Let me see the rest of this. See the picture. I've got many stories left. Probably whatever's in it. All right. So with that, then I think we're at an hour and a half. So might get down. Might go over to the wrestling roundup, and might go over to the wrestling roundup, and so we'll talk some WWE and AEW news here for a few minutes here. So on the WWE side of things, so again, they're still building up towards the Crown Jewel pay per view on November 5th, as we had Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley going at it last night, as they got their a match between those two got signed, as Brock looks to get a win back from last, I believe, from earlier this year. So um, also the feud going on between Judgment Day and the OC is continuing, as also signed for Crown Jewel, of course, is signed for Crown Jewel as well, is the OC members of AJ Styles and the Good Brothers taking on Judgment Day's three male members of Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, with Rhea Ripley in their corner. Um, and of course, NXT it was packed tonight, as due to a scheduling conflict, um, Dynamite was um, Dynamite was actually being held tonight as opposed to tomorrow night due to a scheduling conflict with CBS. Now, of course, we'll talk about tonight's show in a moment. Get what they call Title Tuesday for Cincinnati, but on the WE side of things, they're looking to try to beat AEW Dynamite. This is the first time the two companies have actually directly competed their main shows against each other since 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 NXT was on Wednesday night. And of course, Rampage and SmackDown are both on Friday night to compete against each other there. And they had a number of main roster talent show up on NXT this week, including of course Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez were picked for the Pick Your Poison match or in other words, Raquel Rodriguez taking on Kara Jade on I think Sonya Deville on Sonya Deville's behalf, and then Rhea Ripley being asked by Kara Jade to take on her opponent, her rival, on her behalf. Um, you also have what looks like maybe the OT will be making an appearance on tonight's NXT as they'll be teaming up with a guy in an 8-man tag. Um, you also have, and Kevin Owens has not talked about the possibility of Kevin Owens being there as well. As WWE is trying to just beat out Dynamite Tuesday showing here. And that might be a good segue into what is in fact going on tonight's Dynamite, as due to a scheduling conflict due to the MLB playoffs, Dynamite was they had to have Dynamite on Tuesday night. Now, in doing so, what they decided to do, they decided to have a what they call the title Tuesday night. So it's four world titles are on the line tonight, as you have as for the as for the interim women's world title, you have Tony Storm defending against Hikaru Shida. This promises to be a solid match. These two are friends. That they have a lot of respect for each other. They even though Shida's from Japan and Storm is of course from Australia, I believe, or somewhere in Oceania. These two came up together. Storm has talked about, mentioned that she wrestled Shida when she was like 17, when Storm was 17 years old. These two are good friends. We've seen that over the week, sending off, Britt Baker and her crew. Um, and now they're going to be facing off against each other, for the interim world test. Shida being a former AEW world champion, she helped carry AEW's women's division during the pandemic, and then currently is a double champion as she holds the Wave Women's Singles title right now, and the Ice Ribbon World Tag Team Championship. But Tony Storm, just because they're friends, doesn't mean Tony Storm's going to back down. She's going to do everything she can to hold on to that belt. Also, you have on the card, you have the AEW World Trios title online as the team of Death Triangle of Pac and the Lucha Brothers, Ray Phoenix and Penta El Toro, taking on Orange Cassidy and Best Friend. Now, could the Best Friend faction make this 2 weeks in a row in which they, as Orange Cassidy last week took the All Atlantic title from Pac, so now will Best Friends be able to wrest the trios titles from Death Triangle? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Yeah, the Ring of Honor World Championship on the line as Chris Jericho looks to continue his quest to desecrate Ring of Honor by defeating all of its former champions. And on Friday's Rampage, Dalton Castle, currently 1/3 of the Ring of Honor six-man World Tag Team Champions, as well as a former Ring of Honor World Champion himself, called out Jericho, being disgusted at Jericho's antics. So this is going to be a very interesting match to watch. You have a chance to watch it between these two. Now, I know many fans probably don't know who. I mean, I didn't even know who Dalton Castle was until recently, until started showing up on AEW more. He basically, as I understand it, he made a name for himself in Ring of Honor. He's been a multiple time Ring of Honor six-man champion. He's been a former Ring of Honor television champion. He's been a former Ring of Honor world champion. This man is quite a flamboyant individual. Chris Jericho Chris Jericho called him a peacock. He called Jericho a silly goose. So this should be a very interesting match to see. Um, as Jericho, of course, looks to continue to desecrate Ring of Honor's legacy. And in, of course, the main event of Dynamite, you're going to see for the AEW World Championship in his hometown of Cincinnati, Jon Moxley is defending against former AEW, former AEW World Champion Adam Page. There's a lot of heat building up between these two over the past couple of weeks here, as on last week's Dynamite, John, Jon Moxley kind of gave Page kind of a backhanded compliment, as he kind of told him he respects his talent, respects his ability, but he called him a kid, which infuriated Page and infuriated Hangman. Well, thank you for subbing, Turbo Blade. I hope you will come and continue to get all your niche coverage here. Um, cover it quite a bit. Thank you for the like and the share as well. Um, I do hope you continue to come. Um, so we do cover anime, cartoons, comics, manga, and pro wrestling here. Um, So anyways, so we got Jon Moxley in his hometown looking to defend. I don't know. You have MJF waiting in the wings with the casino stuff. They look that nobody knows as of yet when exactly MJF is going to cash in that casino chip, but people are waiting very patiently on that to happen. All right. So, anyways, that's enough of the wrestling wrap up. So, probably a good time now to start to wind things down. I thank everybody for being here tonight. I think the new people coming in, and I hope if you like the content, I hope you'll subscribe. Hope you'll keep coming back here for all your niche news, and don't forget on Friday here we do historical comic retrospect. So I hope you guys will come check that out. Anyways, before we leave, of course, we have one last segment, which we call our This Day in Niche History segment, which is when we look back on this day in niche history. Um, look back at past releases, premieres, all that nice stuff. All these key points in niche history. In terms of anime, cartoons, comics, manga, or wrestling. So without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and do that? Today is Tuesday, October the 18th, 2022. So let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in niche history. And first off, we're going to head back 40 years ago, as on this date, 40 years ago today, um, on this date 40 years ago today, from Greenville, South Carolina, in the Mid Atlantic territory of Jim Crockett Promotions. For those of you who may not know, Jim Crockett Promotions was one of the precursors to WCW. Jack Briscoe would regain the NWA Mid Atlantic Heavyweight title from Paul Jones on this date 40 years ago today. So on this date 40 years ago today, Jack Briscoe would regain the NWA Mid Atlantic Heavyweight Championship from Paul Jones on this day. So getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history. As on this day in 2002, the first season of Grim and Evil would conclude its run on Cartoon Network. Now, the segments themselves, of course, were not ended, as the segments became their own shows after this. But on this date in 2002, the first season of Grim and Evil would complete its run, which would eventually branch off into 2 new shows for season 2 as The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Evil Concardi. So on this date, 20 years ago today, the first season of Grim and Evil would finish its run on on um on Cartoon Network. Also on this date in 2006, which was 16 years ago today. This date in 2006, 16 years ago today, the 570th issue of Archie went on sale on this date from Archie Comics on this date back in 2006. Archie Comics, of course, Archie had been running since 1942, would continue until 2015. But on this date in 2006, 16 years ago today, 570th issue of Archie went on sale, and it was an anthology with the four stories included City Library, The True Greek, the not so great outdoors, and the To Act or Not to Act. On this date, 16 years ago today, the 570th issue of Archie from Archie Comics went on sale on this date in 2002. And finally, on this date in 2007, over in Japan, Production IG's Ghost Hound made its premiere on the Wow Wow network. So 15 years ago today, Production IG's Ghost Hound anime premiered on the Wow Wow network in Japan. So there we go. There you go for all the niche history. I thank everybody for being here. Glad for some of the new subs. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hope everybody enjoyed the content as we wind down here. I just want to remind everybody, of course, we're here Monday through Thursday covering niche news. Includes anime, cartoons, comics, manga, and pro wrestling. And on this Friday, we do a historical comic retrospect where we go back through comic history. We just started working our way through books that went on sale in June of 1939. This week, Jim Olsen will be joining me as my co-host as we look back at comics that went on sale from Centaur Comics. I'll be introducing you to a couple of Golden Age heroes from that time: The Masked Marvel and Phantom of the Fair. Phantom spelled with an F, opposed to PH. So I hope you guys will join us tomorrow. I hope you guys will join us for the rest of the week. And until then, bye.